I'm Arthur Goodson. I'm a Star Wars costumer and a member of the 501st Legion. I'm also a professional musician and composer in the North New Jersey area.
Hi, I'm James Hannon, author of Anatomy of a Cosplayer, Tales from Behind the Mask, and today I'm with Arthur Goodson, who is the proprietor of the Tailor Made Armory. Today we're starting the first of our series of Cosplay Spotlight.
As much as I love being out here in the open air in my armory/garage for plastic and paint work, it's probably not super suitable for an interview, so how about we go inside?
That's a great idea. Let's go.
Excellent. I actually got into costuming by accident. Originally I was looking to just have a mannequin in my living room that was going to be to house Stormtrooper armor, to have some sort of Star Wars replica. But when I started researching online, I kept seeing the 501st Legion mentioned here and there. So I did some more digging and found their website and found out what they're all about with the costume building and the charity and the camaraderie. And I just quickly fell very interested into that world. So I then decided that I would pursue becoming a member that way. And that has led to a whole lot of fun over the years. Oh, costuming is all about fan interaction and having fun. I'd love to see the reactions of kids, parents, anybody who loves seeing our costumes. They're just amazed at what it looks like to interact with a real-life Stormtrooper or any other Star Wars character. It's very, very rewarding. My intention for my first costume was to build a Stormtrooper, as I wanted it for the mannequin. But once I learned more about how to build a costume, I was very trepidatious about how to go about that. So I decided to actually shift from doing a Stormtrooper to a Sandtrooper. And the reason for that is that a lot of the weathering and building techniques can help mask mistakes, and I was pretty confident that I would make a couple mistakes along the way for my first costume. So I switched to the Sandtrooper, and that would let me mask my mistakes with different painting techniques and other little mysteries there. First really is a giant family, as I mentioned before. There's members all over the world, and wherever you travel, wherever you go, you can meet other members, which is always so exciting. You get to share your love of Star Wars, and it really brings everybody together. When I go out to Star Wars Celebration, there's thousands of Legion members there, and you just immediately feel welcome when you see a sea of these racer shirts, and you just can talk Star Wars, and you have this common bond. It's really something else. Becoming a member of the 501st Legion can be a very daunting process. There's a lot of requirements that you have to abide by. So doing it on your own can be a very intimidating process. So I'm more than happy to bring prospective members of the 501st Legion here with other members who are part of this community we've established of builders to really help them with the build process and show them the techniques. I remember how intimidated I was when I first did my old build myself, just because I didn't really have anywhere to go or any convenient place to learn techniques from. So by opening these doors and having people come in, it's just a great way to welcome new members and help them get going on their process. If you're interested in joining the 501st Legion, you need to own a screen-accurate Star Wars costume and be accepted into the group. To start that journey, I would suggest going to 501st.com, and then you can find the local chapter near you and communicate with some members and really start that journey. It's a big decision to pick your first costume, but you gotta start somewhere, and going to that website is the great first step. When I'm not wearing armor, I do a lot of things. I'm in the music industry in New York City. I'm a professional composer and musician. I play percussion, which is a whole collection of instruments involved in mostly orchestral playing. I've done a lot of recordings, and I've played in all the great halls in New York City, including Carnegie Hall, David Geffen Hall, Symphony Space, all places in the city. Some of the best musicians around. As a composer, I compose for a large variety of ensembles, all the way from major symphony orchestra to just solo flute pieces. I have written for TV, video games, all sorts of things in that field, as well as commissions for projects out in Los Angeles and all around the country. The biggest composition project was my first symphony, The War of the Worlds. It was named that as it's based on the book by H.G. Wells of the same title. It was premiered in June 2017, and it required a full symphony orchestra. It also featured a lot of multimedia. There was a projector and quotes from the book happening at different parts of the symphony as the whole symphony went through the entire tale of the book. It was a very rewarding experience. When you learned that I was a composer, you had the idea to do a video at one of our conventions, and you wanted me to write music for the Legion of Supervillains, and I thought that was a great idea. I was very excited about that. I always love writing music in the fantasy genre or the comic book style, and it's always a lot of fun, so I was very excited when that project came to fruition. I certainly don't see the world of costuming slowing down at all, especially in this specific Star Wars costuming world that I'm involved in. The movies are continuing to come out. Research is continually being pulled from even the old movies now that we have more technology. Screenshots keep appearing of things behind the scenes that we've never seen. So the research never stops, and the updates to costumes that we once knew or thought we knew everything about never stops. So I think costuming is just on an upward trajectory and it will continue that way for years to come. I do not consider myself a cosplayer. My primary focus is replicating screen use costumes, specifically in the Star Wars environment. I don't really act as the characters I portray. I'm really just focused on replicating the costumes as you see them on film.